the judge in Tupac's murder trial denied Keffe D bail for the final time. She says she suspected they were trying to cover something up. What that could actually be, we don't know. But let's dig into what they said and what we have to look forward to. Tupac's spirit is present. There is no rest for the weary. Let's get into some of this straight game.
Life is like those cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it. Play each situation correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy DELRAY, Richardson, platinum artist, platinum songwriter, Straight Game TV. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Do me a favor, click on the thumbs up button. Also subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And like I always say, if you want to be one of the first people notified when I drop some of this straight game, please do me a favor and click on what appears to be that little bell notification right below this video. I'm going to get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, Judge Kearney, the judge residing over the Keffe D murder trial involving rap superstar Tupac Shakur, denied bail for Keffe D today. The money was there, as it always has been, but she basically said that the defense did not reach the burden of proof of proving where the money came from. I've never really seen this happen before in any kind of trial in dealing with this situation. Once again, Keffe D had explained to the judge that something had happened to him in prison in regards to him being assaulted or something like that. And once again, the judge had to let Keffe D know, be careful about what you're saying here today in court. You have to be careful. I don't think at this particular point, Keffe D is listening to anybody from that perspective. You know, mainly his lawyer, but because if the judge has to tell you, and I understand what he was trying to do, he was trying to convey to her that he had been assaulted, and I totally understand that. But there is a process and a protocol for that, and I don't think that Keffe D really truly understands what that is, based on the fact that, you know, he feels like it's his life that is on the line at this particular time. But just like the last trial, or should I say the last reconsideration hearing, if you will, involving the bail, Keffe D had an outburst, and this time was no different. But this time the judge had to actually warn him, be careful about the things that you're saying in this courtroom. Because like I said before, the test that he failed last time was when the prosecution talked about the little brown box, and Keffe D went into a outburst, if you will, inside the courtroom, talking about how the prosecutors were bad on the outside and inside. And he also said something about the prosecutors again, saying that they tried to use case law that was illegal against him, and so on and so forth. So it seems to me that Keffe D's trying to act as his own lawyer at this particular point, instead of letting his lawyer, Carl Arnold, actually do his job. And so this is very interesting, because the judge basically said, and this is so powerful, she said, I have a sense that things are trying to be covered up, Kearney said. The hearing took a turn when Davis's lawyer, Carl Arnold, told the judge that the bail bonds agent used by Davis had provided the entertainment company with a copy and paste instructions on the language for the letters, and could therefore testify about their legitimacy. Now, that right there basically is Carl Arnold basically saying, Your Honor, you know what? I really can't testify to what the legitimacy of this bail bondsman company is, but I know they did a cut and paste and on some type of letterhead, right, involving a entertainment company, and the judge, as well as Keefe D's lawyer, as well as the prosecutor, noticed that, if you will. And the irony of that is, shortly after that, it was Keefe D's. It was actually Keefe D's. The prosecution, basically, in a scathing response, prosecutor Bainu Palau said the bond dealer may have committed a felony crime by submitting a false document to this court. And he said the state takes that very seriously. He said, be advised that it will not go uninvestigated. So what basically he's saying is that, hey, you know what? The shenanigans have not stopped. You know, and like I said, this is a high profile murder trial. Do not think that Las Vegas and the prosecutors are going to be made a fool of, because there was enough doubt over the years in whether they really wanted to investigate the crime of Tupac Shakur. Listen, both Palau and Arnold declined to comment further. So the prosecution declined to comment, and Keefe D's lawyer declined to comment. Basically, Davis sought to be released since shortly after his September 2023 arrest, which made him the only person ever to be charged in one of hip-hop's most enduring mysteries. He has pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder. Also, Tuesday, the judge, Kearney, pushed back that the start of Davis's trial from November 4th to March 17th, right? So basically, she pushed the trial out, or pushed it back, should I say, to start on March 17th of 2025. So now the trial will not be on November 4th, right? It will now be on March 17th, 2025. So she pushed it out. I guess they need more time to prepare or what have you. Judge Kearney previously rejected Davis's bid to have Jones put up the $112,500 for his release to house arrest. Adding to her concern, she said at the time was the question of whether the pair planned to profit by selling Keefe D's or Davis's life story. Now, what we thought was going to happen on November 4th is now being pushed out until March 17, 2025, right? But more importantly than that, you would think that by now, Keefe D would have learned to be quiet in court. Stop with the outbursts. And I understand him wanting to get his point across, but there's a time and place. You got to know that this is being highly televised and watched, and the cameras are in the court, right? More importantly, the judge does not believe and thinks that they are trying to cover something up. People cutting and pasting letterheads to supposed entertainment companies and all of those things. And you know, the most the most egregious part, right, is basically, you know, the judge has been trying to be nice and being patient and all of those things, if you will, right? But I don't think that they're really giving this a serious look, based on the fact that Keefe D has testified numerous amount of times, The Art of Dialogue, Vlad TV, in his book, twice to the Metropolitan Police Department, the LAPD, as well as the Las Vegas Police Department, as to implicating himself in the murder of Tupac Shakur. And so now, I've never seen this happen before. The bail money is there, but for some odd reason, they can't prove where the bail money is actually coming from. And that's the part that's most disturbing, if you will, right? It's yeah. And then with this cut and paste and copy job, right? Man, I don't understand. $750,000 bail. What did they say? $112,500 to actually for him to get out, and he can't do it. They can't prove where the money came from. The judge says she thinks something suspicious going on, that they're trying to cover up something, which hasn't been really proven from that perspective. But by saying that the bail bondsman, in particular, right, in admitting, right, that the bail bondsman had basically, I have a sense that things are trying to be covered up. The judge said the hearing took a turn when Davis's lawyer, Keefe D's lawyer, told the judge that the bail bonds agent used by Davis had provided the entertainment company with a copy and paste instructions on the language for the letters, and could therefore testify about their legitimacy. What Keefe D lawyer basically was saying is, Judge, I don't know nothing about it, don't really want nothing to do with it. They putting up the money, they're putting up the information that's supposed to legitimize where the funds came from. And the judge said, you know what? This shit don't look right. This shit don't look right. People talking on the internet about what's going to happen, and now, like a lot of them going to be silent now because a lot of what they said going to happen is not going to happen, And so when you think about the big picture, like I said, man, Keefe D talked himself into a jail cell. Like I said, he's suffering from bad health. You don't wish that on anybody. So hopefully he's getting the treatment that he needs. And like he said he was on blood thinners and things like that. Like I said, hopefully he get the treatment that he needs, and he's getting taken care of, as well as he can in the situation. But once again, the reality of it is why did he talk so much? And he's still doing the same thing in the courtroom, and he did it again today. So much so, I don't know if you watched, if you can go on YouTube and find a video from live in court, you can see that the judge had to basically remind him and say, hey, you have to watch what you're saying, in this courtroom, basically trying to look out for him. And like I said, she said, if there's a grievance that you have, or that there's something that happened in the jail, there's a protocol that you would have to do. Please make a record of that, give that to your attorney, and your attorney can turn around and then give it to me. And she said that I can deal with that from that perspective, probably make some kind of accommodations, if you will. But I don't think the judge is going for I think the sympathy move, if you will, because as much as Keefe D is saying how he feels, Tupac is no longer here. Somebody was murdered. And then there was stories told in which there was no remorse involving that, when Keefe D said basically, hey, we was laughing on the corner when the ambulance went by, and all of the things that he said, I find it ironic that he said when he was rushed to the hospital, he was rushed to a University Medical Center. That was the same hospital that Tupac died in, right? So all of the things, that he's in Vegas, dealing with the same thing from in the same hospital, should I say, dealing with adversity involving his health, and that they rushed into the same hospital that Tupac ultimately died in, and where he said that he was on the corner laughing when the ambulance rolled by, taking Tupac to that same very hospital, if you will. You can say karma comes thick, because I always say that, but like, wow, the irony of all of this, the irony of everything, trying to make bail and can't, not that you can't get the money because the money's there, but you can't prove the legitimacy of where the funds came from. I've never seen nobody have that problem, from that perspective. And people not wanting to put their name and reputation on the line in order to vouch for Keefe D at this particular point in his life. It's got to be a sad situation. But like I said, there are victims on both sides, or people that feel like victims, if you will. There's Tupac's family, his sister, his nieces, nephews, his auntie, his brothers on his father's side, Billy Garland Jr., and all of his other brothers and sisters on Billy Garland's side. And then there's, Setua, so there's other family members still missing and grieving their brother and son from that perspective. And then on Keefe D's side, you got his family, like I said, once again, some people, there are a lot of innocent people that are forced to suffer through what's going on also. And so, it's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. But, so I guess this ends that part of the situation. And the judge pushed the trial back now to March 17th, 2025. It's no longer going to happen on the 4th of November, but now going to be happening on March 17th, 2025. Your boy DELRAY, tell me what y'all think down in the comments about this situation. Straight gang.